Hello everyone watching at home, you're with Adelaide Eternal. We're bringing you the next round of our vintage tournament for this month. I'm Sarven McLinton, I'm in the booth here with Beckett, Wolfe.
G'day guys.
So we have Socrates here on the left, Socrates Stavropoulos, trying to power his way into a victory to get him into the Hall of Heroes, trying to win one of our challenges. He's been powering on. I mean, he's come second in 3 of the challenges so far, and often places top 4, but he's just looking for the W. So he's close. It could be his day today.
Who did I compared him with? Chris Pakula.
Chris Pakula. Yeah. Socrates is the Chris Pakula of
Adelaide,
our meta at the moment. But I think he'll break into it at some point. It could be this tournament. Let's have a quick look at his list. Then we'll look at Perri, who's on the right. So Socrates is on a storm list here. He's basically hybridized the paradoxical storm decks and the traditional storm decks. So for those who aren't as familiar with the new breakout paradoxical outcome, the goal of our outcome is to have as many rocks in your deck as possible. So that's why you see more Mox Opals and, Mana Vault and that kind of stuff. And then just bounce it back to your hand, draw a bunch of cards, play them again, and chain it into the second paradoxical outcome and then the third one, and then eventually just tendrils them for the win. But he's also added in the powerhouse cards of the old school storm lists, which are Necropotence, Yawgmoth's Bargain, Time Twister, those kind of cards.
This is just a really hardcore storm list.
Yeah, he's basically all in on, hey, I want a storm. There's no backup plan, there's nothing else, which means it's really good at being streamlined and winning really early, really fast, like turn 1 wins, those kind of wins. But then in the sideboard, he's going to be relying on some of the things like Ancient Tomb and his Tinker of Blightsteel Colossus, because on the right of the match, we have Perri, and he is on Shop's deck. So this is basically a nightmare for Storm decks, and Perri Deane has basically drawn the best possible matchup he can have. An all-in storm.
We were looking at Carl's.
It's really good for him.
Carl Reeves' match last video, which was Burning Oath, Oath of Druids and Storm, and that's got another angle. But as you say, Sox is really streamlined. So one Thorn of Amethyst, one Chalice of the Void, and it's tough, real tough for Sox. So
Perri lands one of them, and I am pretty much 95% on Perri's side.
Oh, here we go. Mind you,
there's Merkel's recall, but it's
Thorn of Amethyst costs 2 Sarv, and that means you can only play it turn 1.
That's true.
And if he doesn't get a turn 1, then we might see Sock with a win. But I do have to agree.
All right, well, let's have a look at their match, and we'll keep talking about the current and various incarnations of shots.
Triskelion in his list?
Yeah, so you know how
3 Phyrexian Metamorph?
What's this? You know how
I'm not going to let you answer this. I'm just going to keep reading out cards. He's also got 4 Walking Ballista. I guess that's not that new.
No, when 4 Walking Ballista isn't enough, you run Triskelion as well. But Triskelion, Triskelion is kind of like bad ballista, but sometimes you just want more ballistas.
Yeah, right.
They just win you the game when you've got, okay. So let's have a look at our hands. So that's a Time Twister hand with a bunch of rocks.
He's got a jet as well, so he can get a Time Twister out quite early if he's on the play. Do we know if Sock's on the play?
So Perri has a sphere,
and he's got much mana. He's got a mana crypt, I think.
He's got a car in there. There's a vehicle in there.
I think it's quite good for Pierre if he can hit a tomb.
If he's on the play, I am 95% Perri to win.
If Sock's on the play, I'm about 60%
Sock to win. Yeah. Yeah. So, he's got the Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt here. GG's, Sock.
Well played from Pierre, I think. Sock put up a good fight, but that's all it.
And there's a strip mine as well, just to say, hey, do you want to cast your Hercules Recall sometimes later in the game? Well, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Perri is so far ahead, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Possibly, so he's paying 1 to play the Emerald and probably pay 1 to play the Jet, and then try and Time Twist the next turn.
That's pretty good from Sock, though. That could have been a turn 1 Twister, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, another rock. Look at that. Another one.
Here we go. Just calm down now, Sarv. Okay. Well, who the hell cares about a sphere?
Well, because it means that he can, if he has Hercules... Does he have Hercules Regal main? If he doesn't, then I'm still 95% for Perri.
Paradoxical will do it though. Even after a strip mine, you can play another land in Paradoxical.
Yeah, but then what do you do? Replay those things again that cost 1?
Oh, it doesn't matter. They all tap for 1, so. Alright, and then you got that storm count. You draw cards, alright, mate? It's 5 mana draw 4. Okay, it's fine.
5 mana draw 4.
What is that? Tidings?
Tidings. It's actual tidings. Playable in Vintage. You heard it here. Who plays Ancestral Recall? Seriously, guys. So back to the game. Perri has obviously he's got the strip mine, but he's also got Mishra's factory. I'll get workshops.
You know, yeah. I think what's
Mishra's
probably better
factory.
than stripping you is even just going like Revoker, name one of your mocks, name Opal.
Yeah, it's still parody, but he could do both. Yeah. He can strip and name Mox Opal or Jet. He could I
think you want to name the Mox Opal because you know there's more Mox Opals, but there's only one Jet.
Good point.
So because Sock could tap Opal, play another Opal.
Yep.
Which doesn't seem good when there's a sphere out, but I don't know.
Yeah. His other alternative is somehow, turning off the Opal another way, But
well, also I assume Pierre runs his own Moxes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't run...
He's not French, I don't think.
Pierre?
Perri.
But I like Pierre as a name.
Uh-oh, he's going to get a nickname now.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be
now
permanent.
It's nickname.
And we know what happens with the nicknames in Adelaide Eternal. Suddenly, they're now on your deck list. And now when you become going to the Hall of Heroes,
what's my little...
You're still Baguette.
What's my little tidbit about myself?
Your body is composed of over 97%
Why
French
is that,
bread.
Sal?
Well, apparently Baguette is a name... Whoa! Oh,
here we go.
This changes everything.
Over.
The advantage bar has moved directly over to 50%.
We've got to get that.
Yeah.
I think it's naming Mox Jet,
it's naming Jet.
the Revoker. So
I love it when people clearly show things on camera. So this is Academy. For those who haven't played with Academy before, when you have 4 artifacts out, it's like a double Ancient Tomb that doesn't do any damage and taps for a colour. It's so good.
And
Acol.
But he's got a Twister in hand as well.
Yeah.
If he can just dump
so he's got 2 blue floating. Is that right?
Oh, I want to play this deck.
Yeah.
This makes me want to play it.
It makes you want to
just keep snowballing. More cards draws more mana to play more cards.
Paradoxical outcome is great. Yeah. The problem is every time you see it performing well, you're like, I want to play this deck. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just don't see those matches where it's horrible. It's just been stony silenced out of the game, and you're like, one card is destroying my whole deck, and I have no alternate wing card. So this is basically 4 mana now because he's got the 2 floating, and he's going to probably cast a Time Twister. And for those who haven't cast a Time Twister on turn 2, it's strictly worse than turn 1 on the play. It feels so bad to give your shop's opponent 7 new cards after they've already deployed their 4 best cards or 5 best cards.
Look, Sock's deployed a bunch. It looks like he's going for a DT here instead. Because I guess he did just Acol.
Yeah, that's it. So he's basically now trying to find the key piece, which could be
I don't think it would be Paradoxical, because Paradoxical is just drawing more cards, and he doesn't need that. He needs mana or some kind of long-term thing like Yawgmoth's Bargain.
I hope he shows the camera.
I'd love to see Bargain.
Does he run 1 Hercules Recall in the main? Because if he does, then this is going to be amazing. 2 Hercules Recall main.
Nice.
Oh, so yeah, this is insane. If there's no Wasteland from Perri next turn, Socrates has distinctly gained the advantage here.
What's he gotten?
I would get Hercules Recall if I don't already have Hercules Recall.
I would get Yawgmoths. I hope he didn't get Gitaxian.
Is this a probe for 0 mana? Because technically...
No, he had one floating.
Yes. It is. Yeah, because it's for 2 life and 1 mana.
And no more hate from Perri, but he's got some gas.
It's a car and then 2 guys that cheer. They put their hands up and cheer.
Well, he should be able to power that out because they make artifacts cheaper, right? So he can power... Oh, no, because he's stripped.
Yeah.
No, he stripped the Underground Sea before he saw the Tolarian. That's a shame, isn't it?
I still think it was a correct play. Because,
of course, he hadn't seen the Tolarian yet. But it must be a shame for Perri. But what did Sock get? You want to see Hercules. I want to see Hercules. I want to see Bargain.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. He does have Bargain. bargain. I keep forgetting that Sock's deck is a hybrid deck of the two versions of Storm, and he does actually have the.
And he's got 7. He's got 7 mana with enough black mana. He's got 2 black mana and 7 mana to pay for the tax.
Just bargain for like a bunch, and then try and
mind you. That changes things because now he gets the power out his entire hand. No, he shouldn't play the card. Don't play the card. Don't play the card. Because you can play the other thing as well, right?
Play the well, there is a sphere.
Oh, there is a sphere.
Yeah, so it does change things.
My bad.
Without the sphere, you can try and string your hand, but the
still
sphere changes things.
now bargain's not good.
Yeah, bargain's not great
because you get bashed for 5 next turn,
Perry's
7 next turn.
Done the right thing though, because next turn he can play a Foundry Inspector and use it to jump in a vehicle. Because although Foundry Inspector and other creatures can't attack the turn they get summoned, they can, however, drive automobiles. Is a very, very
that makes sense.
Clear distinction. Yeah, that's right.
You get your driver's license before you
can
get old enough to
kill
attack
people. I don't know.
That's just like in real world, guys.
All right, so let's see what he actually searched for.
Here we go.
This is going to be real interesting. So he's pointing at the vehicle and he's saying, "Why are these things printed? These are so bad. Why does Magic have cards
like change?
Silly." So we're not making fun of you. We're making fun of most Magic players who play Vintage, which is change, new things.
You search for the Mock Sapphire, of course.
Oh,
how
why did we
not see that line?
So obviously he has Hercules because he's passing the turn here. It must be Hercules because he wouldn't just pass the turn here. So the Mana Crypt is done just 3 damage, which
he Hercules Perri at the end of his turn, and then he time twists to refill his hand,
and then go bazonkers.
And Perry's hand will actually reduce.
Yeah, we'll reduce. It will go away. All the things will go away, and then he'll get something else.
That's a good point. It's a really good point. Not bad.
Yeah.
If he did that.
If he did, yeah. So here comes the Foundry Inspector, and it's probably going to jump into the car. There it is. It's in the car. Attacks for 7.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. Brum Brum in for 7. Sock goes to 4, but I believe he's going to win next turn. Yeah, Sock definitely cannot Hercules here. He has to take 7.
Yeah, he's got to take it because otherwise you'll just drop your stuff again.
Exactly. The whole point is that
he literally will be able to drop the sphere again, but you got to get the sphere out of there.
Yeah,
if it's not lethal, it's not lethal, right?
Yeah, just take 7. Just take 7 and win next turn.
Yeah,
or at least you have a 99% chance of winning next turn. There's always a chance that you don't draw the right cards.
There's no way that you untap with all that, and he'll have so much mana as well.
Absolutely. But it was really hinging on whether or not Perri drew a Wasteland. Yeah. If Perri drew a Wasteland...
And so many cards.
Yeah.
There are 3 things you want when playing Storm. Mana, cards, and Storm.
Yeah, Hercules you.
Nice.
Hercules you. And I believe we're going to have the joys for those at home of seeing a Storm win here.
That's really nice. I think that's really well played from Sock. And we were calling it GG's as soon as we saw the turn 1 sphere.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what... I mean, even Hercules wouldn't... He could have found a Nature's Claim. Not that it's in the main, but like the DT found him exactly what he needed to win here.
Yeah. And I was wrong. I would have been wrong to search for a bargain.
Yeah, it would be... here we go. Dark Ritual. Storm count is 1. 3 black mana floating.
Very nice.
And...
of course he switched
on no, he's using his horrible dice. Sock, there's some huge dice on there for you. Unfortunately, Sock can't hear us. What with not only being in a different room and suburb, but also being back in time.
Being in the past.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So we've got 5 blue, 3 black.
It's not bad.
And probably...
And a lot of untapped.
Yeah, and a Time Twister in hand.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah. Sock, use real dice. That's all right. We'll talk about... Okay, so now with this other mocks, that's 6 blue mana, 3 black mana. 6 blue, 3 black, 1 basically colourless. And...
It's a green. One green mana, yeah.
Yeah. This is telegraphing a paradoxical outcome, obviously, because otherwise, he wouldn't be just tapping his artifacts here.
Yeah, if you have paradoxes on Time Twist, what do you do? I think I was leaning towards Time Twist, but
No,
you might as well paradoxical
Yeah.
because you get mana back
Yep.
as well. It doesn't cost you mana to do it, so you might as well do it.
The only way that the Time Twister becomes a dead card is if you drew your tendrils itself. That's the only time. So, but you can. Oh no, actually, you can shuffle back. Sorry, it's not. It's not. It's not the red Wheel of Fortune. You actually shuffle.
Draws
tendrils
5
back in.
cards here, and he gets to replay all those Moxies.
Yeah. So basically, we don't have to count Storm count. So just the viewers at home ignore Storm.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. And he's just basically drawing a bunch of cards here.
Didn't look like much.
No,
Time
there's a
Walk,
duress
Duress, and 2 lands.
Yeah, not
which
great.
Is, I mean, Time Walk doesn't do anything because...
So you just deploy all your rocks again and then Time Twist away this hand. You don't even duress because your Storm count's already lethal.
Yeah.
And you're just going to waste a black mana and you're going to need that black mana.
I totally agree. There's maybe just for your own... To relax yourself, you might duress.
Nah.
But
you're going to Time
But
Twist
you
anyway.
know that he's on shop, so he's not running Force. He's not running Flusterstorm. It's not... There's nothing.
There's no Mind Break Trap in the main.
He's just got to go for it. Mind you, if he draw absolutely nothing, then...
You don't duress here because you don't need to generate Storm.
Yeah.
Like, because you're going to Time Twist. Like, you're already going to Time Twist.
Storm
so you need
Storm
to save
count is
the black
already
mana.
well lethal, right?
Yeah. You just need to save the black mana. Like, you can literally
Or
cast
is he
Tendrils
just-
now and it's
yeah.
lethal.
Is he
so
just
it doesn't
thinking...
matter.
You don't go for it.
You don't pass because
Don't pass.
if he top decks... Oh, he's got Tendrils anyway. Okay.
Duress.
Yeah.
We're going to be 2.
All right. Yeah. All right. Duress solely to build Storm count. Okay. I understand that. Now we understand. All right. So into the sideboards. Obviously, in this matchup, overall, Perri is favoured because when you're driving around, you're hooning around in cars, you are generally favoured
fast,
against...
yeah.
Too fast, too furious for the Storm decks.
Someone's got to do like a Vin Diesel altar of whatever the car is.
Of that Fleet Wheel Cruiser.
Fleet Wheel Cruiser.
And put a Vin Diesel
Yeah.
in it.
In some Pimp My Ride fleet.
All right. So, however, post sideboard, obviously, as much as we still say that Shops is generally favoured in this matchup, post sideboard, Socrates gets basically his full complement of Hercule's recalls.
He does, and he gets to take out some of the more iffy cards. I don't think... The problem is, it's a tight deck for Sock, so there's not a huge amount he can take out, but he can take out stuff like Flusterstorm and maybe Mystical Tutor. Because the last thing you want to be doing is paying 3 for a Mystical Tutor, which then looks for something else that you can't cast because of the taxes. So
The thing that he does do, though, is if he bring in from the sideboard Tinker, Blightsteel Colossus, and Mystical Tutor, it gives you the opportunity to actually win. It gives you kind of two cards, Mystical and Tinker, that win off the Blightsteel because Car Shops has a really
that's a
bad
good point.
time
That's a
against
really good point. So
Blightsteel.
specifically for that combo,
Yeah.
you're thinking, yes. I'm just realised that Flusterstorm was in the sideboard, so I'm trying to think what he's got to take out. Maybe Defense Grid. Is that a main board 2 Defense Grid?
Yeah, you take out Defense.
So you take out Defense Grid.
Yeah, take out Defense Grid.
Maybe
and,
Duresses.
You take out...
Do you want
If
Duresses?
you're on the draw, you take out Duress because they're always going to play the Sphere turn 1. And possibly even if you're on the play, you take Duress out as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not really great.
Depending
in
on
this
how much you
matchup.
got to get in. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely Defense Grid and potentially
Yeah.
a Duress.
Yeah. Duress, I think you take out both Duresses.
Oh, and
because
you got 3 Thoughtseizes made,
Yeah.
so it's
you
the
take
same.
out... Just take out all the hand hate.
Yeah.
And then you take... That's basically...
Put in engineered explosives. That seems good.
Yeah. So 2 Duress, 3 Thoughtseizes, and 2 Defense Grid. That's 7 cards. And you get to bring in Blightsteel, Ancient Tomb, Echoing Truth, Tinker, Mystical Tutor, Hercule's Recall, Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he's got heaps of stuff in this matchup. That being said, I still think that his sideboard brings him up to a 50-50 matchup. Like it's not like his sideboard goes, oh, I'm so ahead now, like some amazing sideboard haymakers do, because Shops is just so good against Storm.
it is.
Like it's designed to prey on these kind
What's
of...
Perri putting in?
So Perry's deck is always, just like with any kind of Shops list, it's always very lean. And you have to be very careful about the exact cards that you pinpoint taking out. But it looks like they've shuffled up and they're drawing their hands. So we'll just have a quick look at their hands, and then we might see what his sideboard strategy was. And he's mulliganing anyway. So in the sideboard, he's got basically Ratchet Bomb and Powder Keg, because that's 3 cards that come out and destroy all 0-cost artifacts. And that's pretty good. Unfortunately, Paradoxical Outcome can respond to it and return them. So it's not ideal, but it's pretty much. So his hand is a Time Twister, Mana Vault, Mox Opal, Sensei's Divining Top hand. This is good.
Does he have a land?
Oh, no, sorry. He's on the draw. This is bad. I changed that completely. On the draw, it's not good.
I don't know. Did I see a land? I'm not quite sure.
I don't think so. So
because the Mox Opal isn't good if you can't activate it.
It's not good. He's keeping the hand, but I think he's maybe just had a brain fart and gone, hang on, I'm not on the play, am I? I've done that so many times where I draw my hand and I'm like, this hand is amazing. Oh, wait, I'm on the draw. All right, so this hand is it's nice. A Talarian hand.
He's got Talarian and
a
Mox Jet, so it's pretty fast.
He can deploy a 2-dot
pretty early, yeah. And he's got a vehicle, so he's got some gas.
So you're referring to the gasoline for the car itself?
Literally petroleum, so gas. There's gas in that hand.
Assuming he's filled his car. God, wouldn't that be awkward? You go to your vintage tournament, you forget to fill up your vehicles.
I hate it when that happens. So Talarian Academy, after the Mox Jet, and this is going to give him 2 mana, right?
It's going to give him 2 mana, and he may even have some more if there's another artifact for next turn.
Ravager.
It's a good one.
Yeah. It's not the one he wanted to open with, obviously. He'd rather have a Thorn of some kind, but, beggars can't be choosers in this scenario, because he did mull down to 6, which is rough.
You say beggars can't be choosers?
Beggars can't be choosers.
They can't. They have no choice. Well, he's going to untap and have at least 3 mana. Probably more if he's got a land drop or another artifact he can play for.
We know there's a car in hand, but we don't know there's any hate pieces. Because if there was a hate piece, it'll come out now. So here we go. I think this is Socrates saying, I'm going to do this thing where we go to 7 cards again. So he's going 2 colourless, one of which is Sensei's Divining Top.
Does he have a land in
Maybe he's looking for the land.
I think,
if he didn't have the land. I mean,
it was a good hand, right?
But in what world do you keep a hand on the draw without a land?
Okay, because he's got the Mox. He's got Mox, which is essentially a land, right? Mox Opal. So he can still spin.
But
but
if he spins, he won't have the actual land drop to cast a Time Twister because he's only got 1 floating. So he has to blind draw it off the Sensei's Divining Top, which is bad. No, he's got Lotus. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just scrap everything we said. He's got Lotus anyway. So basically,
did he rip that? I didn't see that.
He must have. He must have.
Oh, suck.
It is a beta Lotus, so obvious props points for that.
And he's still got 1 floating, and he's thinking about having a spin or thinking about cracking Lotus.
Not having a spin in the car, not taking the car for a spin, taking the top for a spin.
Yeah, taking the top for a spin. What I like to do on a Friday night.
So, if you think about the alternate world in which that wasn't a Ravager and he had Perri had a single hate piece, basically Socrates' hand was
does nothing.
Horrible.
He can't cast any of it. He can't cast the crypt to get the mana to play the other rent. It's just,
But Socrates is up a game, and so he could have been going, well, if you don't have a hate piece, I win.
Yeah.
So, he's playing a gambit there. But
Perri didn't.
Yeah. And this will be interesting. If this is a twist, are we going to do the twist again?
We didn't do the twist last time.
Oh, okay. I wanted let's twist.
But we haven't seen any twist.
So 1 colourless and Storm is 4.
Yeah, 10-1.
Sock's just doing the math here.
You all thought we were exaggerating when we said the deck can win turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. Turn 1. Victory for Sock.
Possible victory. Because he can whiff, but I think the odds of whiffing is unlikely. He hasn't even played a land yet. So the Talarian Academy, the Time Twister is going to draw a land as well.
That's a good point.
The amount of mana sources he's going to have is huge. So this is a
It's foiled. It's too foiled.
Is
Whatever
it
it is.
Hercule's recall targeting me?
I think so. So he just
Wow.
wants
Yeah, just wants storm count here.
just storm and an extra mana. Because why would he cast the top?
No, it's good because he's going to twist anyway. He's going to twist.
I guess. Do you need?
He's got one colourless floating.
Oh, I suppose it
no,
doesn't
no
matter.
colours.
It doesn't make a
He's
difference.
got
does
nothing floating. He's literally building storm here.
Yeah.
Lose Sensei's Divining Top to build storm is essentially what it said,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. Like,
No,
your
it's
storm
well-
is 8.
That's actually really well played.
Yeah, and so he's just going to twist here, and all he needs to find is land drop tendrils, and he wins. All right? And that's exactly 10 storm. Land drop tendrils.
Nice.
Twist, land drop tendrils, and that's lethal.
Really?
And he's got it's
yeah.
easily lethal if he gets a tendrils. So 3 black in the pool.
Does
Storm count is 9.
Does he want to put down a top now to increase paradoxical, to
Yeah, I
increase
think
digging
so.
potential?
Because
now
he
that
had
he's
the
got
ritual. Yes.
Yeah, I think
if
so.
not the ritual, no.
I'd agree.
So he's on 9 storm, 3 black mana, cracking this now for blue. Got it. He needs blue. So he's got trip blue, trip black. Storm count is 9.
And he's still got 2 colours there as well from Crypt.
Yep. So
And
trip blue, trip black,
His hand is just
2
top.
colourless. It's top twist.
Is that a paradoxical?
Oh.
I think it's a paradoxical.
Well, he's going to twist
It
anyway.
doesn't matter, does it? Because there's the twister.
All right, so that takes him down to like 2 black. Oh no, 2 black, 2 blue, 1 no colourless, and storm count is 10. So no longer keeping track of storm. 2 black, 2 blue. 2
No, he's got
2 black,
he should,
2 blue.
No, he should have three
black. 3
Three
black, 2 blue, nothing else.
Yeah.
Got it.
So he could have used a black to play top, but he chose not to.
Yeah. And now, as you know, Time Twister, set Time Twister aside in a new graveyard, or something like that. It says something like that. I love the wording on these cards. So good, the old school cards. So, yeah, Storm Count 10. Twist is now in the new graveyard, set aside.
The new graveyard.
Yeah. You can't place it in front of you.
It's a very
when you
old
resolve
graveyard.
it. Yeah. You resolve Time Twister. The game rules say that it's a violation if you were to place Time Twister in front of you. So you have to instead ensure it's set aside from you to your side in some way.
It's essentially exiled, right?
No,
put it in face
exiled.
face-
Then it comes back into play into the graveyard.
in your face
but
up
it doesn't
high.
come back into play because it goes straight into a graveyard. So technically, if there's some kind of thing that says things can't come
When something gets
into-
put into a graveyard.
yeah, exactly. So from there, exiled. So here we go. So trip black, 2 blue, 7 new cards. All he needs is literal tendrils or DT and a land, right? DT and land will do it. There's
got a
dark
dark
ritual. Wow, okay. There's duress, or he's not going to even cast that, right?
Yeah. We were saying Dress should come out, didn't we?
No, sorry. This is so of course duress should come out, but this is post sideboard, and you never know whether or not your shop's player is playing Mindbreak Trap.
Come on, Sal. I'm not going to play around Mindbreak Trap. You know how you know if your opponent's playing around Mindbreak Trap? You probe him.
Take a little cheeky peek. Peek. There's a car in there.
Oh, and there's a Lotus?
Yeah.
It's not a terrible hand, actually.
No.
It's Metamorph and a car
Well, yeah,
and
the
a
Metamorph.
Lotus and a Tomb. So that's...
Yeah.
He can dump that hand pretty well with
And
a lot
Metamorph
of...
is insurance against Blightsteel.
Was that 10 damage just there? Bang.
Yeah.
I think that's even insurance against Blightsteel just because you can copy the car and get in so quick.
Double cars.
Double cars.
But who's gonna drive them?
They can't drive each
They
other.
can't drive themselves. Physical impossibility because Magic makes a lot of flavor sense all the time. So, that's why you can't drive a car with another car. But you can technically. As long as one person's piloting a car, you can put the other car inside another car. And one person can drive 2 cars.
It's surely
car within a
It's
car.
surely an offence, right?
So that's a Dark Petition.
Dark
I just scoop
Petition.
him up. That's GG's, right? Because he's got Time Twister set aside in a new graveyard, which allows him to have Spellmaster.
Nice. And
Yeah,
there's the
GG's.
handshake. Easy
Well,
as that.
For those at home, he just finds tendrils. GG's done. So that was not exactly the way we expected it to play out.
It's not,
usually
but we
Shops
did.
is a favourite here.
But to be fair to
One.
us,
You can't sell jewels if you don't buy jewels. 10 rules. Socrates' favourite card.
Again.
Yeah.
It's because it looks like.
Make sure you pick it up 11 times because that's how many Storm copies there are.
He's loving it.
Thanks very much for watching, everyone. We're Adelaide Eternal, and we'll see you in the next round.
See you guys.